Digital 410 Productions proudly presents the What's in Your Head podcast.
Digitized live from the Act Computer Studios in Cape Coral, Florida, it's the What's in Your Head podcast with your hosts Gordon and Don Abernathy.
What's up, OG5? It's the new Monday edition of the What's in Your Head podcast. You know, the hard thing about doing a podcast consistently on a weekend is, well, your family gets pissed because you can't go out and do family things. They have plans, anniversaries, date night, what have you, movies back when COVID started. And there was a lot of times, like being the asshole that I am, I had to leave Carrie's birthday party early because we had a show to do. And so we decided, hey, let's just move it to Monday. That way, when I have my World War II events, we're not rescheduling the show. When we have things going on Saturdays, we don't have to reschedule the show. And you guys can now watch us at your leisure on a Monday, opposed to sitting home watching us on a Saturday. What do you think about that, Gordon?
I like it. It actually works out. So, Katina and I have been battling the bulge, losingly. Even though I've cut down calories, and one of the things I said is we got to go hiking on the weekends. At least every other weekend, I got mountains around me. I've got mountains within a couple hours. There's no effing reason, since I love mountains and I lived in there. My arm disappeared for a while, and that's good. So it works out. It makes us feel like we're not rushing through the weekend. We can have a weekend and relax, and so on and so forth. So
can you do me a favor?
Great. Yes.
I love the fact you guys are working out. That's awesome. But from this day forth, do me a favor and never use the phrase "the battle of the bulge" when it comes to fighting weight.
I'm so sorry. I may have offended.
Well, it's not that
directly.
I'm not offended by it, but
no, not you. I'm talking about the World War II vets.
Well, you're just downplaying the fact that approximately 19,000 soldiers were killed in action, 47,500 were wounded, and plus 23,000 were missing. And so to take that horrible battle and use the name Battle of the Bulge to, you know, and it's not your fault. The news has been doing it forever.
Right?
I know.
It's cliche.
I know, which we need to stop it.
Okay.
At least you're on our podcast. It's just, well, and one, it's just so fucked up. Hey, it's the Battle of the Bulge. And, you know, the news will show it and they'll have the latest. Yeah, it's just,
anyway.
So we're going to put an ixnay on that.
We'll put an ixnay on that, but we are going to make a step forward. I finally got my wife to agree. We are going to go dive into probably no sugar, no grains this week.
Oh, Jesus. You're a stronger man than I.
Well, I don't know. I said dive in. I didn't know if there's going to be water in that fucking pool, but we're going to go for it, and we're going to try. I mean, are we going to probably try to throttle down? Yeah, I don't know if I could do no. I don't know. Or it's just cold turkey. We're going to start looking at recipes throughout the week, build our shopping list up for Thursday when she goes, and then send her loose.
You know, I was having an honest conversation with myself today. I said, you know what? You got to get your shit together. Your diet sucks right now. You have a Savage race coming up in less than 30 days. You really need to lose 10 pounds just so it's less weight for my arms that carry across monkey bars. I'm like, you just did a podcast on Fail to Fail with a physical fitness trainer, and you're talking about diet and all this. And right now your diet sucks. You're kind of a hypocrite. And so I'm really trying to force myself to, live what I preach. I go on a podcast telling people to cut out this and that, which I did, but I've been struggling to stay on that. And so, and I've also said that in the past, one of the reasons I do these things online is it helps me stay honest. And so I was getting pretty shitty with myself today saying, hey man, you got to fucking practice what you preach. I mean, my diet's not completely horrible, but I have slipped. And like yesterday on Sunday, we went out and got donuts and shit. And so I got to get back off that. But I commend you if you can successfully at any. It's not even long term. If you can do no sugar, no grains for a fucking month, you're a fucking killer.
Well, we're gonna try. I think we'll slip a little and have some wings from time to time because they're not breaded, But we're gonna go for it. I just, again, like you're holding yourself accountable. It's time for us to hold ourselves accountable and just do it. I mean. It needs to be done. And I've got these sports that I'm into that I just have given myself an excuse not to do all the time, including the hiking. Now, again, my wife is a city slicker from Chicago, so she's flatland as flatland can be.
She's a flatlander.
So the trick is hiking these mountains slowly enough that she keeps up.
Yeah.
And I'm not a small guy, but I've got so much muscle memory and stamina. Probably still, I don't know. I'll probably get winded. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'll probably get winded.
You'll get winded, but it'll come back to you because it was bred into you. I mean, shit. We grew up in Kentucky, like down at Robin's property on her, what I affectionately refer to now as a homestead. But she, lived on top of the hill. And we would go play guns and BBs through the woods, and it was all vertical. I mean, they lived in a goddamn valley of a holler. There's very little flat land, so it'll come back to you. But yeah, it's definitely hard.
Yeah, and in the mountains that I used to hike in Montana all the time. I mean, that ain't no laughing matter right there. So it'll definitely come back. I know a few years ago when we were hiking all the time, and I was taking other family members, and I would just have to stop. I hate that too. I'd have to stop. I can't, for some reason, I can't. My problem is I can't slow my pace down enough.
Yeah,
and I don't have stumpy legs, so that's part of it.
Yeah, and that that's definitely an advantage. I went running tonight. I have my phone in front of me. I got a new pair of shoes. Finally,
you got new shoes.
I got new shoes because I was getting shin splints. My other shoes, I put 179 miles on them, and it's weird. My Brooks, I put 179 miles on it, and I started getting shin splints. My Sauconys or whatever I had before them, I put 227 on them, and they seem to hold up better. But tonight, my new shoes, I went out and did 3 miles with a pace of I don't know what was my pace.
How do you track your new shoe mileage? Do you insert it in your Garmin? See, this is when I got new shoes.
Yeah, you go on your Garmin, you go to gear. I actually got to add it because it put it on my Brooks, so now it thinks my Brooks has 177 miles. But no, you can go in your Strava and your Garmin both, and just add gear. And then when you run, you can go to edit, and then go to add remove gear, and you can select the shoes, and it'll add that time. And same with you. Okay. Same if you're a biker. If you're a biker. I'm assuming if you're really into it, you need to change your tires every so many miles. You need to change your chain, maybe some sprockets. If you're a hardcore guy, I really don't know, but you can add your bike on there. You can add your shoes and all that. Anything that's wear and tear. And it's a really interesting way. Like I said, my Brooks started to break down at 171 miles, whereas my Sauconys, I went back to them. They were 200 and something. And, then that's the big question, not to get into running on this. A lot of people, when do you switch your shoes? Well, one, it has to do with weight and distance. Obviously, if you're a 105-pound girl, you can probably get 400 miles out of your shoes. When you're a 6'5", 220, that's a lot of pounding, and it breaks that foam down quick. And so that's what I did tonight. But no, what you're talking about, I was thinking, I do all this running down here at sea level, with the exception of when I run on the bridge. If I went to Tennessee or Kentucky or even out to Vegas and tried running, I bet my pace would be kicked in the dick if I didn't acclimate for at least 2 weeks, just because of the sea level and the change in air.
We have a Spartan race out here every year. It starts up on the mountain. Mm-hmm. It's 100 and something miles. It's a relay race.
Yeah, it's the Spartan.
Starts up at Mount Charleston and it ends at Lake Mead. And that's just, to me, insanity. I've known some people who've run it. I've actually got I really need to use this. One of our project managers is also a fitness cross trainer. She does contests. She's in her 50s, I think, and she has her own, I could boot camp.
Yep.
I'm not ready to go to boot camp. My boss thinks I should, but I'm just not quite there yet,
Yeah, no, you want to, just start out walking one night.
That's what we've been doing.
And then go to the gym one night, and then...
Not quite into the gym yet. I can't get the other party sold on going just because of everything else out there. But we have been walking 2 to 3 nights a week. I've been walking every other day at work. So some nights I've got three miles of walking together in there, between the day and the night. Got to get on the treadmill. I think I actually got to get some new, they got these hydraulic cylinders. Mm-hmm. And when I got it, it was
treadmill
free.
Elliptical.
One would drop right? A little. Huh?
You mean elliptical, right?
No, it's not elliptical. It's a tread climber. It's a Bowflex tread climber.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
They got treadles,
sure.
Which is good. It's definitely better than a regular treadmill.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't run on it. You only could get up to 4 or 5.
No, that's fine.
But it still kicks my butt. And I gotta invest $100 or so into getting some new parts for it. But it's running great. Otherwise, ever since my leg thing, I haven't used it. And I got a leg thing next week, and then that's another 2 weeks down. But I can still walk, so that's what we'll be doing. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning.
Did you ever think we'd live in a world where Rick Moranis would get randomly punched in the head in New York City? Did they ever find that guy? Have you heard that story at all?
I heard it Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it Friday. That would be like somebody going along and punching Larry King.
What I wasn't aware of until this story, you know why Rick Moranis, quote unquote, fell off the scene?
Something about taking care of his kids because his wife died.
Yeah, he didn't fall off the scene. He voluntarily did the correct thing. I guess his wife had cancer, and I'm not sure if she passed away. You just said she did. So, there's long story short, he stepped away from the industry to take care of his kids. And I guess his kids are adult children now. And Ryan Reynolds brought him back for a commercial for one of his vodka or whatever, his whiskey he was selling. And now for Disney Plus,
Aviator Gin. That's it.
And for I guess Disney Plus, they're doing a new remake, or not really a remake, but a expansion to the Honey I Shrunk the Kids, and he's supposed to come back and play the character of the father. Anyhow, Rick Moranis got punched in the head during an unprovoked attack, according to TMZ, but the suspect was busted on video, and now cops are searching for him. And of course, this was a few days ago. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ the, quote, Ghostbusters and Honey I Shrunk the Kids star was walking on Central Park West Thursday in Manhattan when, out of nowhere, a man in an I Love New York hoodie unleashed a violent punch, knocking Moranis down hard. Now, I don't know. There's no reports of him having a cell phone or someone else having a cell phone, because this was a trend for a while in some of these cities where it was a knockout game. You would just run up to random people, knock them out, and then put it up on World Star. But obviously that hasn't popped up. And when you hear Central Park, we think the park itself, right?
Yeah, but that's
But no, looking at the videos, it looks like he was walking down the sidewalk under some scaffolding where they're doing construction on the building, because it happened underneath the scaffolding.
That dude probably just walked up and went to jack somebody randomly.
No, he didn't know it was Rick Moranis. He just saw an old white dude. God,
Yeah.
How old is Rick Moranis now? He's got to be in the 70s.
Oh, he's 67.
Okay, close enough.
Yeah.
Rick had zero time to react to the attack. Almost as frightening, the attacker calmly continued to walk away while Moranis laid on the ground, writhing in pain. Cops said Moranis filed a police report and went to the hospital for evaluation. He told the docs he was suffering from pain in the head, back, and his right hip. Is first reported to WCBS. Cops are now looking for the attacker. There's a $2,500 reward to anybody who provides a lead to the rest.
It's a sad story, and I'll probably go to hell for saying this. But, as you said, he walked away calmly. I was thinking of that Looney Tunes wolf that would walk along and just whistle Dixie or whatever.
No, it was...
That guy's walking away.
What was that? It was, hey, Billy,
Hey,
Billy.
Mayan.
Yep, I know who you're talking about.
He did it again. Caused trouble. Hurt someone's feelings. Yet he didn't want to do it. Yes, troublesome people are often people in trouble. They may be mentally ill. Find out how you can help. Write Better Mental Health, Box 3000, New York 1, New York.
While we're on the subject of knowing offending people, let's just get this out of the way.
Hi, my name is Tom McDonald. Welcome to the show. If you are easily offended, then you probably should go.
So last week, as you all know, I was at my first World War II reenactment event, and there were some younger cats there, probably 18, 19, 20. They weren't old enough to drink. How do I know? Because, well, they weren't drinking. I was, but they weren't. And they're, interestingly enough, they're reenacting Vietnam. And we're sitting there, and we're all sitting around, and interestingly enough, one of them made a comment, hey, there's really no reason for us to worry about social distancing. We're a bunch of guys who eat and sleep in the dirt for fun, which is true. By Saturday, your hands are dirty, you're eating your food. We all have good immune systems. But it was late. It was like 2 a.m. They're on their cell phones, and they were talking, and one of them made the okay boomer comment, to which I laughed and said, the sad thing about the okay boomer comment is that, well, you guys say it to Gen Xers. Okay, boomers were our parents.
We are so forgotten.
He's like, well, we understand that, but now it's kind of a euphemism, kind of like the Karen thing. And I said, well, that's fair. But I got to thinking, well, if now we're boomers because, we're older than them and they can disrespect us, which is fine. I'm down for the cause. We always say the biggest problem is these cats are gone and grew up in a time where there was zero tolerance for any sort of ball busting. And so you guys want to make fun of us and call us boomers, even though it's our parents' generation. That's fine. They're like saying to my dad, okay, greatest generation. No, that's his parents. And I got to thinking, do you know what the written definition of the word eunuch is?
Yes, I do.
Because I was driving down the street, I'm like, well, what's a euphemism that would work for some of these younger cats who are woke, who, we, by our terms, are kind of pussed down. They've given up their masculinity. And I remember this old movie called Space Pirates. Ice Pirates.
That's the Ice Pirates.
Ice Pirates.
That's the only scene I fucking remember is that.
Isn't that crazy?
That
we were all young. HBO. For those of you who had HBO in the 80s, you guys remember Ice Pirates? I can't tell you who was in it. All I remember is the scene Gordon talked about. For some reason, I don't remember.
They're like on a conveyor belt, right?
I don't know the plot line to Ice Pirates. I was very young, like elementary school, and Gordon was middle school, and both of us can't remember. All we remember is the name and the scene where these guys are on a conveyor belt in some utopian world where everybody is controlled, and they get their nuts lopped off, and then they talk like this because it's a comedy. Well, here is the written definition according to Wikipedia for what a eunuch is. Generally, eunuch is a man who has been castrated to serve a specific social function.
That sounds like today's young men.
Isn't that the perfect definition? And so when you hear one of these woke young 20-year-olds say, okay, boomer, we need a phrase like, don't mind the eunuch.
That's fine, you fucking eunuch.
Not even violent like that. How about don't mind the eunuch? Or so let's start working eunuch into the social, lexicon for young 20-year-old dudes or dudes of that generation who you feel is not as masculine as people in our generation. And I think it's a perfect definition for them. Eunuch, a man who's been castrated, not physically, but mentally, to serve a specific social function.
Socially castrated.
If that social function part wasn't in there, and you guys go to Wikipedia, I'm not even reading the paragraphs, it's the very first line. If the social function wasn't in there, it wouldn't be a good fit. But as soon as I read that, I'm like, that's perfect.
Well, isn't that
Don't mind the eunuchs. I'm going to make T-shirts. We need to come up with a slogan. Don't mind the eunuchs. Ignore the eunuchs. Something along those lines.
Woke ass eunuch,
Kind of like the don't mind the gap.
Yeah, I think that's what the woke movement's doing. Is it is turning everybody into eunuchs. It's socially castrating young men because of this term. Wait, it's making me sick to say it.
Well, the eunuch chicken has come
toxic masculinity.
Yes, and there's been a war, and we can't blame them. They grew up in the environment. They grew up in a time where, hey, you can't even play tag football in school. You can't even play dodgeball.
What about Smear the Queer?
You know what's interesting? The game Smear the Queer has different titles depending on the generation. You know what the lamest version of that game I've heard?
Get the guy with the ball?
Tackle the guy with the ball.
That's like the Washington football team.
Hey, guys, want to go play tackle the guy with the ball? And the funny thing is...
Well, we just changed it. Tackle the eunuch with the ball.
Well, there you go. And the funny thing is, Smear the Queer had different rules depending on where you grew up. The title was the same, but the game was completely different. I think ours...
It's like Uno. Play Uno in any different house. They got different rules.
Wasn't our version kind of like four-man football? And whoever had the football was the guy everybody's trying to tackle because you didn't have enough people to form two lines. Wasn't that our Ohio version?
No.
All I remember is there was a football involved, and whoever caught the damn thing.
That was our backyard football, but our Smear the Queer was just kind of a shit show.
Yeah.
It was just guy got the ball and he's getting creamed. And that was it. But yeah, it's you're very perceptive with the eunuch thing. I think that's the next that'll be the big
Mary,
seller.
that's eunuch with an E. That's EUNUCH.
Mm-hmm.
Mary's asking with that a U or a Y. It's eunuch with an EU.
Yes, and that was usually done by religious organizations.
The earliest records of international castration to produce eunuchs are from the Sumerian city of Lagash in the 21st century.
Lagash.
Lagash. How would you pronounce it? Lagash, right?
Lagash. That sounds good to me.
Well, Lagash eunuchs. On 21st century BC, over the millennia since, they have performed a wide variety of functions in many different cultures, countries, or equivalent domestic treble singers. Treble? Wouldn't they sing soprano? Anyhow,
yes.
We're not worried about that. We want the first line. Eunuch is generally a man who has been castrated to serve a specific social function, such as basically using their white guilt to make everybody else feel bad.
And before we, not to get too wrapped around the axles in this kind of talk, there's a book out there, and I don't remember the name of the author offhand, but he talks about one of the last steps before the fall of great societies, Rome and Greece, was the concern of the psychological impact of people, such as what we're going through now. And I really got to look it up. I've been remiss in having his information, but I would like to actually look into that and see if there's, what kind of studies have been done on it, because that's scary.
I'll give you a secret, which has worked, a little behind the scene action for you guys watch home. We were talking before the show when you start getting more guests on here again. And one of the things I do when I reach out to book guests for my other podcast, believe it or not, is through Twitter and or Instagram. The only problem is you got to comment on their photo saying, hey, please follow me so I can direct message you. Because if they're not on your quote unquote friends list, then they can't really talk to you, which makes it a little difficult. But yeah, we need to maybe track him down, read his book, and see if he wants to come on the show, and we'll discuss that.
Yeah, I'll listen back to another show I was listening to when it was brought up, and we'll try to tag him, chase him down, because that's some interesting thoughts to that. Mm-hmm. And if you think back on how Rome was portrayed, and Greece and even Egypt, there was a definite effeminization at some point.
Well, it's funny you say that. You know the other movie that had eunuchs in it?
Who's that?
History of the World Part 1. The Mel Brooks vehicle. Who was the African-American who did all the tap dancing and the comedian back in the day? Oh, he was in a lot of those movies.
Sammy Davis Jr.
No. What the fuck? Anyhow, they were in a scene where they were hiding out from the Romans, and they were in the room with the eunuchs, and the lead perpetrator was a female. She was going around basically feeling them up to make sure they were eunuchs. And, of course, she got to the African-American guy who wasn't a eunuch and got quite a handful, if you know what I mean. And then they had to go run.
Was that Gregory Hines?
Yes, Gregory Hines. That's who it was.
As Jophesus.
Yes.
Jophesus.
Have you ever seen that movie?
Probably a kid.
So after they get caught and she gets the handful, they steal a chariot and they escape out of the city, and then they hop into, and somewhere along the lines they hop into a wagon that for some reason, it's a comedy, it's a Mel Brooks movie, the plot line doesn't matter. They end up in a wagon full of marijuana bushes. And so Gregory Hine rolls this huge ass joint as they're running from the Romans, just smoking this 3-foot long blunt. But if you haven't seen History of the World Part 1, obviously it's a silly movie, but God, it's got a 58 on Rotten Tomatoes. But
yeah, he passed away. Gregory Hines passed away August 9th, 2003.
Yeah.
He was an American dancer, actor, choreographer, and singer.
Audience scores an 81. Critics is a 58.
Probably about right.
But if you're a Mel Brooks fan, if you like, Spaceballs and Blazing Saddles, which wouldn't be made today, go out and check out History of the World Part 1. Came out in 1981.
They should do a prequel to Spaceballs.
Yep, sorry, Morgan Long. I just saw you, Gregory Hines. You're definitely on the ball.
Yes, he is.
So eunuch. Don't mind the eunuchs.
Don't mind the eunuchs.
So I went running before the show tonight, not to get back into athletic talk, testing out my new shoes. And we were talking about, in the past, we talked about the homeless population in downtown Fort Myers. And then I think a week ago, I posted on our page, I'm not sure if we covered it, but I posted on the page how Fort Myers City Council just now realizing there's a homeless problem downtown. I've been talking about this for a year. Remember last year on Father's Day, I was talking about how I tried to go use the bathroom, and the men's room had a guy sleeping in it. It was full of shit, and then I had to run around trying to find a porta-john, end up running a mile back to Publix. And that was a year ago on Father's Day. And so now, we just discovered it. Anyhow, I was running down there tonight, and in the gazebo where they all hang out, no shit, there was a pillow top, full-size mattress on top of one of the picnic tables.
This is a hobo zebo?
Yeah, but the crazy thing is they tore out all the playground, and there's 2 paths down there. There's a running trail that runs along the river, and about 8 feet away, there's a sidewalk. Well, they have a fence up all the way along the river. Everything's fenced off except for the gazebo where all the homeless people live. And then, they put those see-through signs on the fence. 1, to block the construction, but 2, it usually has some sort of advertisement of what's coming. Mm-hmm. Cool news is they're building an amphitheater down there. So Centennial Park is getting a facelift. I'm just running. I didn't stop running. So as I'm walking, they just have running. They have the repeat photo all the way down the fence line. Thing looks beautiful, but my question is when are they going to tackle the very bad optic concern that you're spending millions of dollars You've already fenced off everything. You're going to put this huge gazebo because they just redid the Civic Center where they have like shows and shit. Not like movies, but like you guys have out in Vegas, trade shows and all that. The convention center. They just remodeled it.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a beautiful new high, quote unquote, high rise for the River District with the new Sky Bar, which the guy's a dick. He built a bigger building in front of the old Sky Bar, so now the old Sky Bar can't see the river because his building's in front of it. But anyhow, it's all beautiful. Now they're going to build this big amphitheater, but at some point they're going to have to do the. They're going to have to get the homeless people out of there, and I just don't know when that's going to take place.
I mean, let's look at other cities across the nation. I know Fort Myers is different, but I don't think it'll happen. Not like we'd like to see. And I have actually seen even more floating around here lately. And fuck, yeah, no, the homeless thing is obviously a difficult problem.
No, especially right now with COVID and people being out of work and all that stuff, it's definitely harder to do.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to be able to get kicked out of your place at this point.
Unless you violate your lease agreement. So you're correct. The federal suggestion is if somebody's late on their rent, you can't kick them out. But if you go there and do an inspection, there's holes in the drywall or a dog that they're not supposed to have. If there's
20 people fucking in a one-bedroom apartment.
If you go do your walkthrough and you find they're doing things that break the lease agreement,
you're out
with
of
the
here.
exception of not paying their lease, you can kick them out.
Which they may have not been paying anyway.
Yeah, right.
And that's been a problem too, is people who can still afford it not paying it, because they're marching lockstep with some of the progressives' suggestion. I tell you what, though, I think people's at least out this way, their tempers are extremely short right now.
Yep.
I don't know if it's going on there too, but in a 24-hour period, less than 24-hour period yesterday, we had one guy stabbed in a high-rise rental unit right next to the South Point, and they're looking for 8 people. And then within an hour after that, at the South Point, the security officers shot dead a guy that was waving around a pistol and pulled off a trigger.
Oh, Jesus.
And then we had yet another house party where another young guy was shot.
It's crazy. Before COVID happened, Fort Myers was in the news regularly, and for about 3 years, Cape Coral was in the news regularly for people getting shot, stabbed, and all that.
That little Pakistan.
Yeah, right. But as of lately, things have seemed to settle down. I think the last real news story is when my neighbor got stabbed 17 times.
Not once, not
Yeah.
twice.
And the crazy thing about that is, you want to talk about premeditated. That happened at a house that's 4 houses down from where the Lee County Sheriff lives. So clearly the guy had no shits to give about getting caught or, And the thing was, it happened on Father's Day, like at midnight. So clearly he'd been sitting around stewing.
Drinking.
I don't know the
probably.
story, but I'm just assuming it happens on Father's Day. There's 4 kids in the house. He probably wasn't allowed to see his kids. He probably sat around drinking all day, got pissed, and went over there. Despite
Did
the fact
she
there's
survive?
no. Actually, I need to look into it. It's one of the things when shit like that happens, the news hangs out, they cover it. But last
Then you
I
get to
heard, she was
follow it.
alive, but somebody else is living in her house now. So it was clearly a rental property. If she is alive, no one's talking about it.
And do they have to disclose that to the new tenants?
I don't know. They did pay some pressure washer company come to pressure wash the driveway, but they didn't pressure wash the whole driveway. They just spot treated it. So now when you're running by, you can see exactly where all the blood spots were because they only pressure washed instead of doing the whole driveway. They just spot treated it. But it has since been, there's a completely different family living in there now and everything. So I'm not sure. I hope she survived, but I haven't heard anything. Neighbors haven't said anything. The news hasn't said anything. I just know a completely different family lives there now.
Speaking of pressure wash, it's a nice segue into
Morgan
a
Long
different
said there's a
conversation.
shooting in Venice today, but I don't include Venice as part of Southwest Florida. It's like 45 minutes away.
Yep. So I want to segue pressure wash into, I decided to pressure wash my car this weekend.
I'm always afraid to.
Well, with the 45-degree head, you're fine. My problem was I get my 100-foot hose out, I get my pressure washer out, getting everything together, and I rinse off the car, and I realize I'm out of fucking car soap.
Yeah. So what'd you put in it? Put some Dawn in there?
Use some Palmolive, and that's the last thing. You don't want to use dish soap on a car.
Yeah.
So this is the first time dish soap's ever touched a car, but I did hit it with detail spray afterwards.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to say, and this is something Now, I've been doing for a long time, and I actually heard it mentioned somewhere else. I'm sure I'm the guy who causes a comment like this. Why is he using a leaf blower on his car? Well, out here we have extremely hard water. Just imagine it's coming from the Colorado Rockies.
You're preaching to choir.
And it's dry out here. So it dries up quick and leaves the hard water stains. But if I hit that with that, and I thought about it after going through car washes and seeing I was like, let me hit it with my leaf blower. And then I'm not playing as much cleanup time, to detail it later. And it works.
Yeah, I went against the city ordinance a little bit. I moved. I think I'm supposed to do it like on Sundays and Tuesdays, but I'm doing it on Sundays and Mondays and Friday. And I have them set to...
Sir?
I have them set to when we're at work. Because you can adjust your sprinklers all you want, but when you've got the little misters and wind, especially the black Volkswagen, my new Tundra is of gunmetal gray and it doesn't show dirt at all, which I love. But my black Tacoma, when I had it, plus the black Volkswagen, if it's sitting out there when the sprinklers are on, yeah, just like you said, it almost looks like someone did like a clear digi camouflage on your car. It's just little tiny specks all over it. And windshield wiper fluid will not get that shit off. It's insane. If you don't if you sit there and use your windshield wiper fluid like 20 times and you'll still see all the spots. You have to go spend $12 on a car wash.
Yep. And normally that's what I do, but I like to about once a quarter just do it manual, by hand, just to, number one, make myself do something a little more, and number two, just to kind of go over the car, see where the fucking scratches have shown up that I haven't seen and before and everything else. But
speaking
I like
of
it
which,
because we get gum. Sometimes you get gum and shit along the bottom of your car. And what's nice about the Subaru is it's got the plastic plastic. So I'll get that pressure washer right up on there and peel it right out.
I'm sure it's somewhere in the paperwork for my truck that you don't read. The downside of buying a used truck. It was time to get...
TJ Bowen says he uses rain on his Tacoma.
Yeah, that would work. When I went to... It was already time to get an oil change on the Tundra. And so I took it over to my buddy Warren's place and put it up. When we had it up on the lift, we saw a run in the clear coat. So apparently that front clip had been replaced, because you can see where they resprayed the clear coat on it. You can't really see a paint difference. They did a good job painting it, but there's a little bead of clear coat didn't come from the factory like that. And there are little scratches on it. So I think at some point, whoever had that truck, I think it was a little bit too much truck for them. On the front bumper, on the side and the chrome, there's a little bit of scratches where they rubbed up against something. So I think it was a little bit too much truck from somebody, and I think they did a little bit of damage to it. I'm sure if I ran a Carfax on it, at this point I just don't even want to know.
Could have been a hit and run by a cotton top.
Yeah, but my tires were running. My tires are wearing evenly, so I know there's no twist, and everything looks good visually. So I'm not going to be concerned myself with it. And the night after having two brand new trucks, be it their base models, the nice thing about getting a used car is you're not so down on yourself when you get a little nick on there, because there's already little dings and scratches. So got that going.
It's like that first gouge you get in the bottom of a new snowboard, right?
Yeah. So last week I was driving around and there was a lady in front of me who had a bumper sticker on her car that said "Adopt shelter pets. Don't buy." Now this is a common thing that we have going on.
It's got a horrible image of a different version of the sticker.
That's a thing we got going on down here, and there's a thing down here in Florida for a while where they're trying to outlaw pet stores from buying from puppy mills. And I don't know if they officially outlawed it or if the pet store association of good guys just have made a common agreement not to do it. And so you'll notice the price of pets have gone up tremendously. Like I said, 12, 13 years ago when I bought my Beagle, retail price on sale, Christmas extravaganza, $500. And I thought back then that was a lot of damn money for a dog. That same Beagle nowadays would be worth like $2,800 because now they're paying breeder prices. The great thing about that is now that eliminates the problem of young love, puppy love. I'm in high school. I'm going to buy my girl this Labrador puppy for Christmas for $300, and then 6 months later, it's in a fucking shelter, right?
Or the Disney movie Du Jour comes out, and there's whatever brand of dogs. Was there a husky movie that came out recently? Because I fucking see huskies everywhere out here.
I don't know, but if you don't have $3,800 in your pocket or you don't have good credit, you can't finance it. We're going to eliminate, people buying dogs who don't need dogs. But
so
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to do a tasteless joke. I'm going to go to hell.
Well, wait
again.
until I finish before you do the tasteless joke, because
Yeah, go ahead. Finish your story because I'm going to wreck it.
as you guys may or may not know, I am not active, but Carrie and I are both legal foster parents. We went through the system. We adopted a child. And so when I saw the sticker, Adopt Shelter Pets, I took a picture of it and I posted on TikTok, I think. And I said, when you see the word adoption, do you think pets or people? And when I was writing it out, I started writing hashtag adopt kids. And whenever you do a hashtag, it'll say, if that hashtag's been used, it'll say how many people have used it. Adopt Kids had 6,289 views.
Mm-hmm.
That means on the entire platform, the hashtag of Adopt Kids have been used 6,289 times. So I backed it out and I changed it to pets. Hashtag Adopt Pets. How many times do you think hashtag Adopt Pets have been used on the TikTok platform?
At least 7 figures.
11.6 million times.
8 figures.
Now, there's nothing wrong with adopting pets. And I can tell you from experience from, 20 fucking minutes ago, adopting children are very hard, especially when they get to the age where hormones kick in and they don't want to listen to their parents. But it just kind of, to me, it's, obviously I adopt pets. I got 3 rescued parrots. I got 2 rescued cats and, guinea pigs that I bought. So I'm not saying don't rescue dogs. I just thought it kind of shows you how much lack of attention. I don't know if the children's services people need to get a better marketing campaign going. I don't know if people like me who adopt kids need to make it more, socially relevant. But the fact that there's such a huge difference in people using a hashtag of adopt kids at 6,289 to adopt pets at 11.6 million. It just seems like universally we're more concerned about neglected pets than we are neglected children, and that's kind of fucking sad.
Which actually brings me to my joke, which I'm actually thinking may not be such a bad joke. It's more of a, because you told me about the Adopt Shelter Pet sticker, and I'm thinking maybe it's a new marketing campaign. Adopt Shelter Kids, don't reproduce stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little tasteless. You could go ahead and play the role. You could play the clip.
Do I need to do it?
He did it
No.
again. Caused trouble. Hurt someone's feelings. Yet he didn't want to do it. Yes, troublesome people are often people in trouble. They may be mentally ill. Find out how you can help. Write Better Mental Health, Box 3000, New York 1, New York.
Jesus Christ, you're going to get my guns
It's
taken.
2020.
Shit up.
We're in the middle of a pandemic. Unemployment's at an all-time high. There's riots and looting in the street. Properties being burnt down. Cars being destroyed. You don't know if you're going to be able to pay your rent, your car payment. Concerned how you're going to take care of your family? Where can you get some money? That's where we come in over at Import-Export Steve's Semi-Precious Metal Extraction Company. That's right. You may not be aware, but you are surrounded by semi-precious metals. So in this time of strife, when you're worried about paying your bills, give us a call and we will come out and extract your semi-precious metals for 40 cents on the dollar. Unable to make your mortgage? About ready to move out? Leave it all behind? First, give us a call and allow us to come send our experts over to extract all that precious copper from your walls. We will give you 40 cents a dollar in a market rate. Simply give Import-Export Steve's Semi-Precious Metal Extraction Group a call at 239-232-4419. Can't make that card payment? About to have it repossessed? Simply give Import-Export Steve's Semi-Precious Metal Extraction Group a call at 239-232-4419. And we will come extract that semi-precious metal out of that catalytic converter for 40 cents on the dollar of the current market value. Simply give Import-Export Steve's Semi-Precious Metal Extraction Group a call at 239-232-4419. Thank you, Import-Export Steve. While you're at it, head over to Act Computers. Act Computers has been sponsoring this podcast, as well as the studio, as well as all the other podcasts on the Digital 410 network. We may be getting a new podcast on the network that has nothing to do with me, so that'll be awesome. More news on that in the future. But anyhow, head over to Act Computers. Act Computers has been providing IT solutions for Southwest Florida since 2004, and well, we can help you even if you're not in Southwest Florida. We can log in your computer remotely with your assistance. And as long as you have internet connection, we can help resolve any computer issues you may be having. If you're local and you need network expansion or Cat 6 wire ran into your new building, give them a call at 239-283-1120. If you're concerned about where your data is, if your computer crashes or gets hacked, give them a call at 239-283-1120. They can hook you up with online digital backup at 7 cents a gig per month. And if you got people working from home and you're concerned about security access to your business network, give Act Computers a call at 239-283-1120, and they can help you with some two-form authentication to help secure your network as well as data recovery. So once again, give them a call at 239-283-1120 or head over to act-capecoral.com. Now, I'm not one to go against our sponsors, so Import-Export Steve, please take this as it is. And by the way, give us a call at 239-932-8676. We lost our last phone number, which is why it's no longer up there. But give us a call, 239-932-8676. I know Martin said he just got a real estate license in New York City. Now's the time to do that because that place is empty. I'm sure there's properties waiting to be sold. But back to Import-Export Steve and Act Computers. Being a computer retailer and a computer repair shop, much like a mechanic shop who changes oils, changes tires, sometimes even get left with cars that are debunked, you can't just dump that oil in the backyard and burn the tires out in the parking lot. You have to dispose of them properly, right?
Tell that it's somebody from Kentucky.
Well, we have to do the same thing. We can't just throw computers and printers in the dumpster because there's heavy metals in the motherboards that can cause toxins in the soil. And I've actually had the city come to me and ask me if I have copies of my scrap receipts, which I did, so it wasn't a big deal. But so what I do is whenever there's computers that aren't worth fixing, it's cheaper to buy a new one, we'll throw it on the shelf. We may scrap it for parts a little bit. If someone I've done this before with like 80, 90-year-old guys. It's really sad that a lot of them are in the position where they feel that I don't want to buy a new computer because I'm not going to be around long enough to utilize it. Why spend my fixed income on it, which is real sad, but it's true. They have a fixed income and they can't see spending $200 on something that they probably won't be around for a lifetime of that computer. So I've actually taken some of those old computers, cobble them together, and just give them to these people for free. And the stuff I can't reuse as parts or to donate to senior citizens, I stack up, and like every 6 months I'll take down the scrapyard because I can't throw it away. And as we said, we got Gordon on a new TV here, which I've lowered today, so I'm not looking up so high. It's a little higher, but a little lower. But anyhow, I had a 54-inch TV, and then I had a 32-inch TV that were dead. I threw those in the back of the truck. I threw 7 laptops, 4 computers, and went to the scrapyard, right? Mm-hmm. First thing they told me is they couldn't give me any money for the TVs. I said, that's fine. I just need to get rid of them. And so they took them off my hands. Now, the laptops and the computers weighed 98 pounds because there were 2 computers that were old school where the cases themselves were heavy and they had old heavy hard drives in them. And 98 pounds worth of scrap, I got $5. Which, once again, I'm not doing this as a money-making venture like our old co-host would have been doing. I'm doing this so that I can have a piece of paper to show the city if I get audited again saying, hey, I'm not throwing this shit in the dumpster. But I got to thinking, we've all seen these scrappers, right? Now, caveat, I know the place I go to basically sells you at half price because then they collect it and go across town and get full retail. So chances are if I would have drove to Fort Myers instead of Pine Island, I would have gotten $10 instead of $5 because they're giving me half price. But I still, let's say we got $10 for that. That's $10 for 98 pounds worth of shit, plus 2 TVs they wouldn't give me money for. We see these cats driving these old cars where they're beating them up. I was actually talking to a customer out on the Pine Island, and she said she has a friend who does this in their old Escalade, which is sad. They'll drive around and pick up people's water heaters and this and that on trash day. And you'll see them on trash day going through your trash trying to find anything that's recyclable. But it's like, how much time do you, let's say they do an 8-hour shift. Mm-hmm. They're trashing their truck because this shit, they're just throwing it in the back, it's scratching it up. All these scrap trucks look like crap because, one, these guys, this is their income, so they don't have the money to maintain their trucks. But they're just putting more wear and tear on it. For what? $40, $50 a day on a good day? How much money? Now, I'm not talking about architectural salvage where these are professional guys going, tearing down buildings from the 1800s and getting all the stuff. I'm talking about your random, let's be honest, alcoholics who are drinking all day.
Drug addicts.
But
tweakers.
It's like the amount of gas you're spending driving around town at $2 a gallon. Are you even coming out even?
No.
How is that a suitable source of income?
It's one in a series of poor life decisions. And I've posted a picture. There's a car that goes around near where I work. And I first saw it because I thought it was an awful nice looking Chrysler 200 or Sebring that had stuff strapped to it last November. And I had posted a little GIF of it, bunch of shit hanging off of it. Then I saw it 6 months later. The fascias were ripped off. It was the shocks, you could tell, were just gone, full of dents. And I'm just like, holy cow. And it had like 10 bicycles piled on top of it. And they didn't look like bad bikes. So I'm thinking somebody may have been going around and, getting shit
but
off
you
people's
steal
cars.
somebody's bike. You can either put it on Facebook Marketplace and try to sell it and probably get caught, or take it to scrapyard and get, what, $3 for it? It's not even that.
Exactly. And let's talk about Facebook Marketplace. I've seen people try to sell 25-pound weights for fucking $50.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? I bought the whole, or 150. I think I posted one, 2 25-pound weights for $150 and a CSAP or something like that. I was like, that looks just like my weeders. I bought the whole set for 160.
Well, you're dealing with what we deal with in the hurricane states. We're in a pandemic. Everybody's working out of home. At least they were. I will say I was out running tonight, and I did see some people out who were overweight jogging, which is great. So for some reason, there was when Florida reopened, when we were quote unquote closed, I would run and you'd see families with the kids on all brand new bikes. Mom and dad were out there. It's like, sweet, man. People are getting concerned about, because the COVID, underlying. And so it was great to see all these people up because all the gyms are closed and all that. As soon as Florida quote unquote opened, running trails, just me again. They all went away. The brand new bikes are probably in the garage collecting dust, which is kind of sad. But to get to my point, you live in the states, areas that are still closed, quote unquote closed, and gyms are closed down. People are price gouging. They're going out and buying equipment. You go to Walmart, the physical fitness area is gone, empty. Bikes were empty for the longest time. So these people buy them, and they go on Facebook and they try to price gouge to see how bad people really want the stuff. And we would see the same thing with generators.
$5.
Yeah, down here you'd see people doing the same thing with generators, cases of water. It's insane.
Toilet paper. Whew, that's a hot commodity.
Yeah, it's funny you're talking about his car. A buddy of mine sells high-end cars, and he posted a picture on Instagram. Like when cops they get drug bust, they'll take a picture of the stacks of the weed and the gun and the money and all that. This is the meme somebody made, and it was 2 cops standing by a table full of Ford Raptor grills, and said police have recently confiscated 300 Ford Raptor grills off of non-Ford Raptor trucks, because you have all these guys driving like F-350s base models, and they go out and buy the Ford Raptor grill and make it look like a Raptor even though it's not. Kind of like, and what reminded me of that, people used to do that with the Chrysler 300s. They put Bentley grills on them.
Coming in from TJ, I watched in horror as a truck with old school 80s BMX bike worth hundreds going to the scrapyard.
Yeah, it's insane.
Adopt a shelter bike.
Hashtag adopt a shelter bike. Hashtag don't mind the eunuchs. I saw a white van.
Oh, kidnapper?
No, it had windows. And I'm sure it was a church van. But I'm at the age where the phrase deliverance has a completely different meaning. And this white van just had deliverance written on the window. I'm like, not only do you got a kidnapper van, but you have deliverance. Sure got a purty mouth. Oh. That movie got like cult popularity in the 90s, where you can go to like OSU campus and buy shirts with a screenshot of the 2 rednecks and said you got a purty mouth on it, and just
it's Clockwork Orange.
But that scene on Deliverance is worse than anything on Clockwork Orange. To the fact that killed Ned Beatty's career for the longest time. It wasn't until he got back on Roseanne that gave him credit, because he did that scene. But yeah, when I saw the Deliverance van, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
What's the other one? Soylent Green.
Oh yeah, I've never seen that. So I was talking about how my local JCPenney is going out of business, and their Levi's are now down to $18. I
just went to one.
I got like 4 new pairs of pants now.
Sweet.
But I was walking around the JCPenney, and I wandered into the men's underwear section.
Oh boy.
And their underwear was 80% off. Like Nike and Under Armour. And so I started looking at the boxes. And I noticed 4 of the Nike boxes, actually all the Nike boxes on display were empty. How bad off are you that you got to steal $3 underwear? After the 80% off, I did the math. These things retailed at $3, and people were still going in there, taking them out of the boxes and stealing $3 underwear. At this point, are you really
Jokes
broke?
on these motherfuckers at this point.
Are you really that broke, or are you just addicted to stealing shit? Yes, I know it's high school kids and middle school kids, but come on, you got $3, right? Can't you pay $3 for your Nike underwear? You got to steal it? It's like, how is there even street cred to stealing $3 underwear? Does that even make it? Hey man, come here. Look what I got. Oh, Nike underwear, dude. That stuff's expensive. Well, it was 80% off. Wow, what'd you pay for it? I stole it. You stole $3 underwear?
Made me think of the Family Guy episode where Lois became a kleptomaniac, and Glenn Quagmire was there, and she talked about how she had a hole that had to be filled, and giggity. It's fucking on and on and on.
$3 underwear though. At that point, you're just a thief. You can't even You can't even claim that you're doing it because you're downtrodden. You're broke. Even a homeless person who's panhandling.
Oh, you know somebody's going to dust off some busted ass reason. You know.
Yeah. Even a homeless guy can panhandle $3 for a 3-pack of Nike underwear. Speaking of underwear, we always hear these ads for Tommy John.
Yes.
And I heard they're fantastic.
They're fucking expensive.
That's what I was going to say. Isn't it like $30 for a single pair? Not even like a chub pack. Isn't it like $30?
Gucci underwear, man.
Who's in a tax bracket you can afford $30 underwear for one pair? If you sold it like a 3 or 4 pack, maybe you can justify it. You're like $6 a pair, but $30 for a single pair of goddamn underwear?
Which is about what women pay regularly for theirs anyway.
No, if you go to Victoria's Secret, they're usually cheaper than that. But let's do the math. Let's say, okay, we're going to throw away all our underwear, and we're going to buy 7 pairs, which means at some point you're going to be standing in your house washing 6 pairs of underwear or butt naked, because it's laundry day, and let's be honest, laundry day is never complete unless you wash the clothes you're wearing.
Right.
You know how much money it would cost to outfit yourself for 1 week?
About $220 or so.
$210.
Yeah, that was just a guess on my
part. 7 pairs of underwear to get you through the week.
Plus tax, $220. There you go.
Yeah,
I'm right there.
$220 for enough.
Estimate for a living.
And
yep.
And that's if you're a type of guy who goes to work, comes home, takes a shower, free balls it in your pajamas, or you put on clean underwear, you take them and wear them the next day. But if you're going to the gym, running, anything, riding a bike, and it requires a shower when you get home, now you're going through 2 pairs a day. So what, you're going to spend $420 on underwear to get you through 1 week? Yeah. I would just, maybe I'm jealous. Maybe I'm just because I'm not in a tax bracket.
Yeah, you ain't into that Gucci underwear bracket.
No, I'm into the chub pack of whatever I can find at the Bell's Outlet on sale.
Mine's usually at Costco.
$4.
Or get at Costco or Sam's. You know.
But I'll tell you what, right now, dude, get Levi's for $18 because they're so. I'm living high in the hog, man. I got like 4 brand new pairs of Levi jeans. And I don't wash that shit. Huh?
We went to JCPenney's yesterday just out on whim because I was told that my wife was told it was cheap, and I think they're $6 for a pair of shorts.
Yeah, and that's that one that's not even going out of sale.
Yeah.
Now they did. This is everything must go sale. They're like selling their mannequins for $50 a piece.
Dude,
I was looking at getting another one for a friend for Steve out in the garage, but the problem is they don't have full length ones and men's. They don't have any men's, and I don't know if I need 2 mannequins. I think one's enough because I put my sweaty uniforms and air them out. But I was disappointed. I was looking for signage. I'm a sign whore. Yes, and I was hoping to go in there and find like one of those neon Levi signs like you see at Kohl's.
Mm-hmm.
But all they have are like little plastic squares of like Levi printed on it. And I don't know if they're ready to sell their signage yet, but I was really hoping to go in there and find a nice, cool piece of signage. But they're selling like their tabletops, their Z rollers, and their mannequins. But I don't have any use for any of that stuff. But I want a cool sign. I do have the Cape Coral Trek bike store sign now, which is like 9 feet long. I had to cut it in half, and I'm going to take a hot glue gun and pop the letters off and then relocate them onto a piece of plywood that's more palatable, no pun intended, to my garage.
Garage.
Gordon, are you ready for the news?
Let us do the news.
Dude, let's do the news. News and shit. News and shit. Now here's Gordon with some news and shit.
Joining us now from the Digital 410 West News Desk in Las Vegas, Nevada, Gordon Abernathy.
Gordon, how you doing tonight? This just in, Trump, despite his illness, is being inconsiderate and unprofessional and went back to the White House today.
I know how that goes. You got a job to do. You got a job to do.
Yeah, I know, but it's just funny how, depending on what channel, what the reporting is, if you're on like a Fox News, like you said, well, you know, you can't tell other people to do your work, but you go on like the other channels, like, he should be at the hospital. He's being inconsiderate, selfish.
He'll lock himself in the Oval Office. So I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So, I think the country of Ireland has set a precedence.
Okay.
According to the Irish court, Subway bread is not bread.
I can agree with that. I'm going to piss off some Florida people right now.
Subway sucks. I'm sorry.
I'm going
It's
to piss
fucking
off
horrible.
some Florida people right now.
Hi, my name is Tom McDonald. Welcome to the show. If you are easily offended, then you probably should go.
Look, Publix Boar's Head meat is fantastic. I buy Sausalito by the pound. I bring it home. I buy the Publix cheese. Publix sub bread is hard as a fucking rock.
It's like old French bread, and you can hit somebody with it. and
The
kill 'em.
inside is great, but the outer shell, especially if you get like the multi-grain, which is awesome.
Chip a tooth.
If I could go down to Subway and get their bread, just get the bread. What's the? I usually get 6-inch spicy Italian on Italian urban cheese. That's the bread, the new bread. I've been eating Italian sausage.
bread.
I've been eating a spicy Italian from Subway since 1997. Only time I ever changed is if I go with the meatball, but then I realize there's only 4 meatballs. I'm eating bread and marinara. It's a waste. So, spicy Italian, extra pickles on the Italian urban cheese. If I could go in there and buy just the Italian urban cheese bread, or not bread according to the fine people of Scotland, and then scurry Ireland and scurry 5 doors down and go to Publix, do you think they'd be upset if I handed them the bread? So, can you make my sub on this? Because the bread is
Hey, maybe
definitely
I'll
soft.
back. I got some bread to give you. I want you to use.
I'm sorry. I like soft bread. I don't want,
BYOB.
I don't. So anyhow, they said it's not real bread. Why?
Yeah, and actually, I think I like Firehouse's bread better than. Well, I don't even like Subway's bread anymore. Yes.
Have you tried the
according to
Italian
people,
urban cheese?
Ireland's Supreme Court. Now, I'm sure there's arguments that they're all just nothing but a bunch of fucking drunks and they don't know what they're talking about. They have ruled that the bread sold by the fast food chain Subway contains so much more sugar that it cannot legally be defined as bread.
Well, that's how they keep you coming back.
Oh, absolutely.
They
Got
say
you hooked on
McDonald's
crack
puts
addict.
French fries in their French fry grease. I mean, puts sugar in their French fry grease.
So the ruling came in the ruling came in a tax dispute brought by Brooks Finders Limited, an Irish Subway franchisee, which argued that some of its takeaway products, including teas, coffees, heated sandwiches, were not liable for a value-added tax.
Aha. Tax
So we're
loophole.
getting you with the sin tax, right? A panel of judges rejected the appeal Tuesday, ruling that the bread sold by Subway contains far too much sugar to be categorized as a staple food, which is not taxed. There is no dispute that the bread supplied by Subway in its heated sandwiches has a sugar content of 10% of the weight of flour, included in the dough. Think about that. 10% of that flour is fucking sugar.
They're cutting their flour. Instead of using an Arm & Hammer on the
cutting it
Coke,
hard.
they're cutting their flour with sugar. So
And thus
did they
exceeds the 2% specified.
give suggestion on what the bread should be called if it can no longer be called bread?
Probably a sweet roll. But The law makes a distinction between bread as a staple food and other baked goods, which are or approach confectionery or fancy baked goods, the judgment said. And Subway disagreed with the characterizations in the following statement.
Of course it
Subway
did.
bread is, of course, bread. According to the company in an email, we've been baking fresh bread in our restaurants, which actually had an ingredient, wasn't shoes, for more than 3 decades. And our guests return each day for the sandwiches made of the bread because it smells and tastes good. That's
Because it's got sugar in it.
got them hooked like crackheads. So Bookfinder was appealing a 2006 decision. This goes back to 2006
Wow.
with authorities who refuses to refund value-added tax payments. So this is a court battle. How much did this guy lose in court costs to?
More than what his tax was worth.
And everything else. So
Can't beat City Hall. You know, before Jared was a pedophile, and he was the Subway spokesperson, they would always talk about how he lost weight eating Subway every day.
Uh-huh.
You know what they didn't tell you?
He probably had no bread.
No, he was walking 2.5 miles each way from his house. So he was walking 2.5 miles, eating Subway in the walk. So basically, he was walking 5 miles, eating a Subway sub in between. So, yes, the Subway was better than a greasy Big Mac or whatever, but it was the 5 miles a day that helped him lose the weight. But they never included that into the Subway diet plan.
Yep. So moving on. Allegiant Airlines. Allegiant Airlines is a low-cost carrier who's also has a name on a stadium that is the home to the Las Vegas Raiders. So evidently, like their fan base, the type of people who fly on Allegiant Airlines like to fight. And apparently like to fight over face masks, which are required by the airline. So there was on a camera. There was an argument between two gentlemen. Gentlemen's used lightly, who were waiting for the flight's departure Saturday at Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport, headed to Provo. And this person was seated near the passengers when someone threw the first punch. So she said that she immediately retreated, like the French, and started recording the incident.
That's not fair. The French fought off the Nazis for
Yeah, we got
bit.
it in our blood too, so whatever. That's why I get it. It was absolutely insane, according to her, because it was all about a mask.
Yeah.
It didn't need to get that way, which is no shit. I still go back to your thing about the reason that people really have their noses hanging out is they don't like to smell their own breath. I think that's the fucking thing.
I'm telling you,
that's the next T-shirt.
Those are the people with the shit
Just wear the
sandwich
T-shirt.
breath.
Make yourself a T-shirt with the nose hanging out. The reason the people wear the my breath must stink, or something like that. So the fight started when the passenger who wore a face shield sitting behind Lansford got into an argument with the flight attendant over wearing a face mask. Okay, I want to stop right there. I don't normally go to the store, but I did this weekend, and the lady at the register had a face shield, sans the mask. And I'm just thinking she is breathing her breath all over my fucking shit because now it's concentrated.
Yep.
How
Weaponized.
is it? It's the inconsistency that drives me nuts.
Yeah, we've talked about that so many times.
Yeah, it just drives me nuts.
On
So
a
the
lighter
fact-
note,
Yep.
you're on TikTok now. Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, you see my white trash kitty with her little white trash shirt on?
Not yet. There is a guy on there who trying to find his original handle. There's a Hispanic guy on there. He goes by 420 or something or other. 420 Dogface 2008. He did a video where he's just riding down the street on his longboard drinking some cranberry juice with a Fleetwood Mac song in the background.
Uh-huh.
And so a lot of people started making their own version. I duetted it. I didn't have any cranberry juice, so I was drinking Gatorade. I saw a great one where a guy was riding down the street with a Halloween sweater on with a pumpkin on his head, and he had a pumpkin spice Starbucks, and he went to drink it through the pumpkin mask. The whole thing just fell on his face. I've seen people reenact it where they're eating ravioli. And as of today, who's the lead singer? Fleetwood himself actually recreated it. But here's the crazy thing. Over the last 4 days, people have given this cat $10,000 worth of donations. And that's after TikTok takes 60%. Yes, that's right, TikTok. Unless they went to his Vimeo. But here's the crazy thing, and we've talked about this in the past. We can't play songs on here. The music I'm playing in the background is public domain songs.
Yes.
We do play songs on the OG5 podcast, which, by the way, OG5 members, those of you who signed up for Patreon, head over to Patreon. We posted a new OG5 podcast episode yesterday. And if you guys aren't an OG5 member, please head over to d-410.com or go to Patreon and search for Digital 410. But if you go to d-410.com, click on that lovely orange Patreon link, sign up. It's $1 a month, or you can sign up for the $3.50 or $7.50, depending on how much you love us or hate us. And you can have access to all the same free content. There is a podcast where we get a little more real, and we play songs on it because it's not for public consumption. Therefore, the likelihood of us getting hit with a cease and desist is slim. But regardless, we're often talking about, well, if these artists nowadays, radio's dying out, right?
Yeah.
And so people are going on Pandora, YouTube, but it's usually an echo chamber. They're listening to the songs that they want to hear. Every once in a while, Pandora will throw a similar song onto the playlist, and they'll discover something, right? So why not let people like us use your song one time? Not make it a theme song or play it something we're going to play regularly, but throw it in the background. Maybe we'll get some exposure to some younger cats, right? Due to this one TikTok going around this weekend, according to Billboard, the song has seen an 88.7% increase in streams, which is now at 2.9 million, and a whopping 374% jump in download sales. 3,000
Just a little free advertising.
since the video became marketed. So basically, because this 420 Dogface guy put it in the background while he's skateboarding, drinking ocean spray, that video blew up. All these young cats who aren't familiar with Fleetwood Mac now hear this song, they associate it with this video, they go out and pay 99 cents, and now then that's why Fleetwood himself did a recreation as a thank you. They're all out of nowhere, their mailbox check just blew up because one guy included their song in a 30-second, 45-second video of him riding a longboard while drinking ocean spray.
That's
Boom.
insane. That's insane. Going back to my Raiders comment, TJ, Raiders fan. So I'm assuming he's a Raiders fan. Well, guess what? I am begrudgingly becoming one because Cincinnati has broke my heart way too many times, and I've lived here going on 14 years. So,
well, we've discussed that in the past. If you move out of state, you can have your hometown team. I still sport my Penguin stuff. Well, darn, you're from Columbus. You should like the Blue Jackets.
How'd you say that?
Penguins?
Penguins?
Penguins.
But yeah, you call them the Pens, right?
Pens, Penguins, hashtag let's go Pens. But Don, you're from Columbus. You should like the Blue Jackets. Well, I left in 2001 before they opened up, so they were never around when I lived there. That's why I was a Penguins fan. But anyhow, I live in Florida. You got to have a hometown team, right? You want to go see live sporting events. You can't wait until your out-of-state team comes because they only play twice.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have a hometown team to support. So I have a Tampa Bay hat. Tampa Bay just won the Stanley Cup for the second time. You know, you're talking about the Bengals broke your heart, right? We grew up in Ohio, so our teams were the Bengals and the Reds, which back in those days, they both sucked. They never went to the World Series or the Super Bowl for the longest time, right? And, of course, in Cincinnati, we had the Marge Schott debacle. And so when I left Columbus, the year I moved to Los Angeles was the very year that the Angels won the World Series. So, hey, there's a little reward for me. Hey, you move out of the state, you've been suffering as a Bengals fan and a Reds fan all your life. Here's a little greeting for you. When I moved down here in 03, 04, that was the year Tampa Bay won the Stanley Cup for the first time. So just imagine that. I left Ohio the year I moved to L.A., the Angels win the World Series, and then the year I moved to Florida, Tampa Bay win the Stanley Cup. So I think it was the universe just trying to give me some sport love, just to try to coax me in a little bit. And so, yes, I go to Tampa Bay game. I'll wear my Penguins jersey with my Tampa Bay hat because I'm supporting my hometown team, but I'm also supporting the team because I don't have any Tampa Bay jerseys.
Well, I tell
So
you
there's
what, you know
nothing
what's-
wrong with you being a Raiders fan because that's your hometown team. That's what I'm getting at.
Yep. And I'll tell you, speaking of hockey, one of the problems with having an expansion team that's done as well as the Golden Knights, who've gone to the Stanley Cup playoffs their first 3 seasons, finals the first season, fucking tickets are goddamn expensive.
Yep.
They're some of the most expensive in the league. Nosebleed seats, you're lucky at $75 a pop.
Yep. And,
Of course, there's no crowds right now because Sisleck thinks that, we can't have more than 1,000 people at a goddamn stadium, but whatever.
Well, the great thing about where I live is I'm 2.5 hours from Tampa Bay, and I'm an hour and 45 minutes from Miami. Well, guess which population isn't conducive to hockey? Tampa or Miami?
Probably both.
Well, Miami's got a huge Cuban
What they got?
population. They're more into soccer than they are hockey.
It's just soccer on ice, man.
Well, the attendance is lower at the Panther Stadium.
Right.
So when the Penguins or the Kings come to town, granted, Amalie Arena in Tampa is beautiful. That is one of the only hockey arenas that you'll see when you watch TV. They're actually walking around the goddamn thoroughfare inside because of all the stores, when they go to commercial. Amalie Arena is beautiful. First professional hockey game I saw there. I was so used to seeing our ECHL team at the Germain Arena, which is basically a hockey rink and a gymnasium as far as acoustic goes. It's just loud. You can't even hear the PA system over the fans. When I went to Amalie Arena, they had the roof all coated in rubber. And when people cheer, it's like an audible version of the wave. You can actually hear the sound circling around. Because when you first get in there, after going to all these ECHL games, I remember Carrie, when we went and saw the Kings there, because she's a Kings fan, and she's like, are people not into the hockey here? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, it's so quiet here. That's because of the sound deadening that they put in the arena. But once again, if you want to, back to what you're saying, your team comes to town, the Penguins play Tampa once at home, and then they play the Panthers once at home. And so you look, and you find, the attendance is lower over at the Panthers arena, so you go see the teams you really want to see there, and you can save like $20 on your ticket because they have less attendance, and thus they lower the prices, and so you can find your team cheaper there.
Well, that's what's crazy. People would go to L.A., the Kings game, or Anaheim, or down to Arizona to watch a Knights game because it's cheaper to travel down there several hours, buy a ticket, and come back.
Yep.
It's just insane. Now, what's going to be interesting is our AHL team has moved here. It was the Chicago Wolves. We decided to buy another team, and it's a very smart move on Vegas's part because now we've got a team that we can afford to go to. That's the Henderson Silver Knights, and we can watch the boys just a step down that they pull from on the bench play for a lot cheaper.
You're just talking about guys driving out of town, right, and getting tickets coming back.
Yep.
It reminded me of because you live in Vegas and everything's ran by the casino lobby. I remember when the Powerball got huge, like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, and because, well, let's admit it, the lottery is a legal form of gambling.
Right.
And who doesn't like competition?
Well, yeah.
Casino lobbies. They want their degenerates spending their money in their places, and so you can't buy lottery tickets in Vegas, correct? Or is
correct.
it just
You have to go
Powerball?
half hour south to Prim. That line's usually about an hour long, so I'd take the extra drive down to Baker.
So Gordon would, when the Powerball gets big, or is there a Nevada State Lottery?
No, you got Powerball or Mega Millions. You can.
So
get
there is
out
no
there,
Nevada
Arizona.
State Lottery you can play.
Nope.
But
Casinos don't like that.
So Gordon's kind of like we were in the 90s, in the 80s, in the 70s in Ohio and Kentucky when you want fireworks. Where'd you go? Indiana or Tennessee.
Indiana, Tennessee. Yep.
And so if you're living in Nevada and you want to join in on the Powerball when it gets to $15 million, you're making a freaking trek across state lines like you're trying to get liquor in the middle of the night or legal fireworks. Just get your lottery ticket. It's so insane.
To basically play Keno, because that's all it is fucking Keno.
Yeah.
If you think about it, that's on a ticket. Yeah, it's and which is funny because Keno has the worst odds in gambling.
Yeah.
That's why I only gamble like $40 a year.
It's
next story. Next.
It's so funny when every time I see the Golden Knights, it reminds me of the college here in Florida. I think it's USC Knights, same color. It always reminds me of USC, the University of Central Florida logo.
We've been waiting for the alternate third jersey, and it came out. And I sent you a picture of it. It is gold. It is shiny ass gold. It doesn't get any more Vegas than that. I think it's kind of actually. I think it's actually wearing on me now. So I'm not a fan of gold, but instead of using an alternate logo, they literally just used everything the same, but they flip flop some colors. I wish they would have run the swords from the shoulder down there, but hopefully that will be in the future. Oh wow, we did sign a new goalie too.
Oh yeah,
Robin Leonard. So the big question is, what are they going to do with Marc-Andre Fleury?
You think he's gone?
I think he's on his way out, unfortunately. Now the question is, will he end up in the Kraken in Seattle? Who knows? That would be interesting. Some people have rumored that he's going to try to get back to Pennsylvania or to Pittsburgh, but hell, they let Murray go too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, speaking of lottery,
Oh, real quick, for those of you who are joining us on the Facebook live stream and the YouTube live stream, comment or send us an email. Please send us an email. We want mail from you. info@d-410.com. I'll put that in the stream. Do you guys prefer, how are you liking the Monday show? Because like we said, the Saturday show we try to do consistently, but it's just, there's too many conflicts that come along, and it really doesn't make our family members happy when we can't do things because you got a stupid podcast to do. And so, do you guys like
exactly it?
Yep. Don't make no money, but you go do a stupid podcast. Do you guys like it on Monday? Is there another day of the week that works for you? Let us know. Send us an email at info@d-410.com, or I guess you could put it in the comments. But let us know. How do you like the Monday show? Does it give you something to do late at night? If we're on radio, we'd be past Safe Harbor, so we could say fuck, shit, goddamn, tip, motherfucker. No, what was it? Shit. I can't remember the George Carlin bit, but yeah, we can actually say all that stuff right now because we are in Safe Harbor.
All right. So before
Next
that,
story.
I was so rudely interrupted. Lottery winner and the mail. So one lottery winner's ticket got lost in the fucking mail.
I heard the headlines. I didn't read the story. Why in the holy F did she mail her ticket?
Oh, well, this comes out of Ridge Manor, Florida. A woman who had won $1,000 in something called a second chance drawing in July 29th isn't getting her prize because the certified letter, she went and paid for a certified letter to the Florida Lottery's headquarters, had never arrived. And we don't all know voting, all the votes are going to get counted. Anyway, Sue Burgess told WFLA, this is where this comes from.
Still waiting for my Marine Corps sweatshirt that my mailman stole, but anyhow, go ahead.
That officials in Tallahassee told her, hey, no ticket, no prize. The second chance lottery prize gives winners a limited time to turn in a ticket to claim the prize. Their options are either to put the ticket in a drop box at their local lottery office, or because of the coronavirus pandemic, this wasn't available, to mail them into the headquarters. So according to Burgess, she felt that it would be safer to send the ticket via certified mail with the U.S. Post Office because there's never a problem there. Tracking information shows the ticket had arrived at a Tallahassee post office at 7:12 a.m. on August the 12th. But the online tracking shows the ticket was never delivered to the lottery office. Let me open that son bitch. Says, oh, probably because it said lottery office right on it, right?
Yeah, right.
It's certified. Oh, fuck. I got myself a payday. And absconded with the ticket.
You know what she should have done? If she would have sent that via UPS,
This shit would have got there.
one, it would have got there. Two, your tracking number. But every UPS package you send has a $100 insurance policy on it.
Yeah, but that's a $1,000 ticket.
Well,
You get
she got
$100,
nothing. If she would have paid $10, she would have got $200.
Actually, she got less than nothing. She paid for certified mail.
Yeah, it's $5 for an additional 100.
Yep.
So you pay $10, you would at least gotten, a couple of digits back for losing the mail. But yeah,
Yep.
never send anything of value through the post office. Always send it UPS or FedEx. If you're sending a letter, what have you, go ahead. But anything of value, just don't do it.
Well, speaking of all fuck,
No fuck.
there was a mistake in Tennessee.
A boot. Hold on, let me get some Tennessee music going on here. Go ahead.
There was an issue in Tennessee. Officials accidentally listed 13 pallets of coronavirus testing materials and other supplies on an auction site.
Have you ever gone to those state auction sites?
No, I have not.
They're pretty cool. You can get like anything, like computers, old lockers, all kinds of cool shit. Apparently, you can get some COVID testing equipment too.
Yeah, and it may be a site you're familiar with, govdeals.com.
Yep.
A government liquidation website. But they did promptly remove them Thursday after the Tennessean asked about the auction. Officials told the newspapers that this was unintentional, accidental. We throw ourselves upon the mercy of the court. The auction listing was a result of an internal processing mistake, according to Dean Flinner, spokesperson for the state's COVID-19 Unified Command Team. Jesus Christ, can these get any longer titles? He said that the supplies should have been stored, but were inadvertently labeled as surplus and thus headed off to the auction.
That's government for you. When the
How
Marines
much would you pay for a toilet?
When the Marines landed on Guadalcanal in 1942 on August 7th, there was a little mislabeling And they actually ended up getting some hardtack that was left over from World War One because that's the way the government operates.
Well, it was real hardtack at that point, right?
So what were you asking me? Oh, by the way, update. According to Morgan Long, OG5 member, I heard the lottery office found the ticket and has paid her $1,000.
Fantastic for her.
Now she can pay her
Better
mortgage
they
for 1 month.
just said, if I could cut her a goddamn check, we're all over the fucking news.
Remember when you got that $1,000 check for graduating high school?
Yeah.
Yeah. How pissed were our female relatives?
I don't know.
We had this old school aunt,
Oh, this was great grandmother.
a great grandmother, old school chick. Unbeknownst to any of us, at some point in her life, she thought, well, the males in our family, upon graduating high school, deserve a graduation check. And crime, it was only the men and boys, right?
Mm-hmm. I think she passed before you graduated.
I got my check, though.
Did you really? So
Yep.
it must have been in a trust.
I got my $1,000 check for graduating high school. Sister, not so much. Sorry.
Is that why she hates us so?
I don't know.
Well, she doesn't hate us. She's just jealous. Anyway, so how much would
Well, we got to
you
get to on the next episode of the OG5 podcast. We got to dig down on some of your bitterness towards your family that you still have.
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not bitter. I just think it's funny. NASA test a new toilet, a titanium space toilet,
Ooh.
a $23 million
Why? What's wrong with
titanium
porcelain?
space toilet, coming at you from the AP from Cape Canaveral, Florida. NASA's first new space potty in decades. $23 million titanium toilet, better suited for women, is getting the not so dry run. Oh, great pun there, guys. At the International Space Station before eventually going to the moon. So it had been packed into a cargo ship that should have blasted off Thursday from Wallops Island, Virginia, but the launch had been aborted with just 2 minutes remaining in the countdown. Northrop Grumman said it would try again Friday to kick this toilet back out to space after it figures out what went wrong. So this thing weighs almost 100 pounds. It's just 28 inches tall and is roughly the half size as big as the two Russian-built ones that are currently sitting on the space station. It's more camper-sized to fit the NASA Orion capsules that will carry the astronauts to the moon in a few years. And
now, isn't it ironic? How much is that toilet?
$23 million.
Now, they say it's more conducive for women.
Correct.
Now, I did hear on Larry the Cable Guy's Sunday podcast over on the Larry and Jeff Foxworthy XM channel. They had that cat you used to see on all the videos who lived in the International Space Station for all those years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about something I'll get to in a second, which is my theory why they're upgrading this toilets. But they were talking about this news story I'm getting ready to read. And he said he didn't like that idea because, one, they have these things called space tourist. And where basically billionaires can buy a ticket to fly up to the fucking space station. And he said you're essentially babysitting these people to make sure they don't fuck up, touch buttons. He said twice he had to, one of these space tourists got fecal matter on the urine tube, which is a problem. So,
Well, we've all seen a public bathroom, so.
And so he didn't like, and the thing that offended him the most is the space tourist. Once you pay that money and get on that spaceship, guess what title you have? You're technically an astronaut. So you have all these guys who trained, who went through a selection process to get to space, to be a legit astronaut. Some guy with a couple $1 billion who buys a ticket, or a couple $1 million buys a ticket to go hang out on the space station for 3 weeks. Now they're technically an astronaut, even though they didn't have to go through the selective process and all that. But isn't it interesting that NASA announced their new highfalutin toilet right around the time that it was announced that Tom Cruise is going to space in 2021 to film a movie with help of Elon Musk's SpaceX space shuttle, Namek says. Tom Cruise will officially take on his biggest stunt yet in October of 2021 when he travels to outer space to film a new movie.
I thought his biggest stunt would be denounce Scientology.
I heard he did a crazy motorcycle jump in a parachute. He actually did the jump himself. But anyhow, the Space Shuttle Almanac tweeted Wednesday that previous reports that Cruise would lead his first movie filmed in outer space at the International Space Station are coming to fruition. The 58-year-old actor will be joined. Oh, Banner just pushed my paragraph down. Will be joined by the Bourne Identity director Doug Lineman next year as part of the Elon Musk Space Crew Dragon capsule. Together, they'll head to the ISS, that's the International Space Station for you playing along at home, and begin production on the first major movie ever shot in space. Although the movie doesn't have a title or a plot. Well, let's be honest. Any Tom Cruise movie have a fucking plot?
I think it's just going to be called Tom Cruise in Space.
Look at you failing to mute your cell phone.
Yeah, and evidently the garage door just opened.
There is a hypothesis that every Tom Cruise movie has to have a motorcycle. So my question is will he take his motorcycle to space? So maybe NASA has to. Maybe that's part of the writer. Tom Cruise needs a highfalutin toilet to sprinkle his tinkle into, and that's why right before Tom Cruise heads up there, they put in his multi-million-dollar space toilet.
Or maybe they can try to catch Elon Musk's space roadster right about now.
Yeah, that thing's gone.
Gone.
Leave it to humans. Hey, I'm gonna send some more trash into space because we don't have enough satellites floating around out there that we're just gonna launch a car out there for funsies.
Yeah, but once it's so much space out there, I don't think it's going to matter.
I know, but
where's around our fucking planet's the problem?
I know, but where does Elon Musk lie on the green movement? Is he one of these? We need to stop man-made pollution. Yet he lobs a fucking $820,000 car into space.
He does own a solar company. Which is now Tesla Solar. So I think it's more of a carbon offset because those rockets, really put up the CO2 gas.
And launch a $100,000 car.
Just got fuck me money, right?
Yeah, right.
So let's one last story here.
Sure.
Let's talk pumpkins.
Pumpkins? Pumpkin chunkins? Are we going to chunk pumpkins?
Pumpkin weighing.
Pumpkin weighing.
So Utah State recorded a record way off in Lehigh, which still doesn't compare to the Ohio ones. Yes, Lehigh, Utah, not to be confused with Lehigh, Florida.
Lehigh Acres, thank you very much. Or L.A. if you're real hip. I live out in L.A. Bitch, it's Lehigh.
L.A. Must be nice to be from L.A. Anyway, first place pumpkin goes to the 16th annual last Saturday at 1,825 pounds.
Where does one grow that?
Well, have you ever been to the Circleville Pumpkin Show?
Yes, but I've never seen one that big.
Well, and I'm sure these were in the pumpkin show because I think that's probably the largest pumpkin show down there in Roundtown in Ohio. They've actually had them weigh. The largest one that I could find weighed in at 2,150 pounds by a gentleman named Todd Skinner.
Honey, we need to have a talk.
2015.
Sweetheart, we need to have a talk. You're playing the role of the woman.
Yeah.
Do we have any equity built into our house?
A little.
We're going to have to refinance.
Why?
I need a flatbed trailer to hook up to the F-350.
Why you need a flatbed trailer? Did you break down a car again?
No. We got a big-ass pumpkin, baby, and we're going to the fair, and the only way we can move it is I need to refinance the house, get the equity out. We're going to have to buy us a used skid steer and a flatbed truck trailer so we can go to the pumpkin show and win $1,000.
Let me do that. The math don't add up here.
Yeah, speaking of financial decisions.
God damn it, woman! I just wanted to grow a big ass pumpkin.
So what is the winning prize money for winning the largest pumpkin?
It does not say. It says that the event was official weighing session of the Great Pumpkin Commonwealth, an organization that has made giant pumpkin growing a hobby.
How many months does it take? That's probably years, right?
No, it's one season.
Really?
Have you ever seen a vegetable last more than one season?
I know, but how much money are they spending on a fucking Maxi Grow, whatever the hell it is? No, that was Roundup.
Miracle Grow?
I was gonna say, isn't Miracle Grow? No, Roundup's the one that's getting sued for being carcinogenic. But no,
I do have one more story too. I'm sorry. I have to tell this one because
Yeah, we
you
got
may
time.
relate to this story.
we got time. I just want to know how much money this guy had to invest in fucking Maxi Grow, a flatbed truck, and a skid steer to get this thing down to the county fair. That's all.
Who knows? He may have been a farmer and he just kind of buried this in his cost. But
John Kraft said, God,
the
I
group
miss
hosting
pumpkin
the second
chocolate."
event was at a place called Hee Haw Farms in Pleasant Grove. I'd like to show. So this last story I've got, you may be able to relate to, although it does come out of London.
London, across the pond.
British Zoo had to separate 5 very foul-mouthed gray parrots, who keepers said was encouraging each other to swear. So it's basically like a group of teenagers.
They're African Greys, like Sammy.
Yep, sorry about that. Billy, Eric, Tyson, Jade, and Elsie joined the Lincolnshire
Lincolnshire.
Lincolnshire
Lincolnshire.
Wildlife Center's colony of not 100, but 200 gray parrots in August.
Why can't they call them African Greys? Is that not politically correct?
They're just called gray parrots. And soon revealed that they have a penchant for bad language. We are quite used to parrots swearing, but we've never had 5 at the same time, according to the zoo's chief executive, Steve Nichols. Most parrots clam up outside, but for some reason, these 5 relished it. Nichols said no visitors had complained about the parrots,
No, they like it.
and most found the situation quite funny. When a parent tells you to fuck off, it amuses people quite highly, he said Tuesday. It's brought a big smile to a year that's been really difficult. Nichols said the parrots have been separated to save children's ears, and they've been moved to different areas of the park so they don't set each other off.
The sad thing is that story, that means those parrots were owned by a complete fucking prick.
Yep.
There was a viral video that went around for a while that had a cockatoo, and the owner destroyed like its house or something, and the thing lost its fucking mind, started cussing at him. I have an African Grey. Clearly, as you can tell from listening to this show, I cuss. That bird does not cuss. One, the bird only mocks women's voices. It says the name of my old dog, Tucker, all the time. Every night when I put the blanket on, it says, stop it. But she doesn't cuss. So the fact that these 5 African Greys have such a extensive vocabulary of profanity means that their previous owner was screaming at them all the time to fuck off and shut the fuck up and whatever profanities they heard over and over again. And
Yeah,
so
I noticed they didn't use the word C word in there, which is
I'm
used
sure they did.
profoundly in Britain.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. The Great Friends Club for those of you on TikTok. GFC hashtag. But anyhow,
And that's it, man. I figure I'd end on the gray parrot story.
thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of the What's in Your Head podcast, the new Monday edition. Hope you guys like the Monday edition. It's kind of nice. It's a little harder on Gordon because he's got to rush home and be ready, but hey.
Yeah, but
sacrifice
I'm
we made.
fine. I'm usually Mondays are great. Fridays would be not so good. My mind's gone by then. But I Mondays are perfect.
As I said earlier, head over to d-410.com, click on that Patreon link. And by the way, there is a what'sinyourhead.com. That's the word what's, the letter N in the word your head. So if you want to skip the D-410 and all the other podcasts on our network and go directly to What's in Your Head podcast, you can do that as well. Either way, go to one of those 2 websites, click on that fantastic Patreon link, or click one of the YouTube videos, and head over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. We're almost at 300. Yay. And you can also find all of our social links. I know Gordon is now on TikTok as well. I am too. You can find all our information there. Please email us. We want to hear from you. Comments, likes, tell us to fuck off. Whatever you want. Info at d-410.com. Gordon.
We found at Aegis 1974 on Instagram. Gordon at D410 on Facebook.
And remember, if you don't ever get out of your comfort zone, you'll never get out of bed. So get up, do something to challenge yourself, enjoy your life, and we will talk to you all next Monday.
This has been a Digital 410 production.